there has to be a greater call to worship in this hour, a greater call to prayer, the word, because there is a correlation between being in the word, earnestly seeking God, worshiping him as king, and seeing miracles happen.
Yeah.
That's right. They all
So
go
it takes a certain level of hunger and desperation to seek the face of God and not just the gift.
And that's been pretty shallow in the American church.
We have so many comforts here, though, you know, where you go in some countries and they aren't able, say, to go to certain doctors. You know, we go over here, we take our money and go to the doctor. You know, they don't have food there, we go to the grocery
It's like she
store.
said, we want to see a miracle, but we don't want to be put in a position to where that
When we
a
need
miracle is actually needed.
Yeah, but we're faced with so many other ungodly things
Well, that's true,
that it's going to take the Spirit of God in order to fix where we are. You know, we have the comforts of food and you know, everything else, clothes, and you know, but all the other demonic spirits that have taken our country, we're going to have to lean in order to get our country back.
I think the miracle of that, and the greatest challenge to it is comfort and ease. So it's like I can feed myself, I can I can take my medication. Many Christians act as functional atheists. I often say that, you know, there are some people that go by the name of Christian and they go through all the Christian rituals. They go to church, they might even read their Bible, they might even pray, they're in a small group, they tithe, they go through the motions, but functionally, they're actually atheists. They have all these religious rituals that they keep, but they do not believe that God actually wants to intervene in human affairs today, that God is who he says he is, or that God can do what he says he can do. And so let's not be Christians that function as atheists. Let's be believing believers, not unbelieving believers. And that's where I think our challenge is. It's not like I go overseas, so yes, and see, so in certain countries, we have to believe God for real instantaneous healing miracles to help the people to, well, I don't need that if I'm going to go into whatever, pick any city here. More than likely though, my gosh, the blindness of either pride or arrogance or greed or idolatry or self-righteousness or indifference or apathy. I mean, I'll tell you what, pulling down those strongholds and those, I mean, it is...
That's a miracle.
It's as much as casting out a demon of someone in, you know, another country. So and I've said that to all of our team as we do more and more of our events around the country. I said, honey, you can be deluded. I said, but we are going to war. This thing is like there is spirits and strongholds and that rationalism and that sort of I'm okay, I'm good.
Yeah, I think a lot of what we see here in America is if you don't believe in God, then you have to be God.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. So,
Well, we believe in a God created in our own image because we don't like the God of the Bible. I mean, surely a good God would. Oh, we recreate him. I'd rather have a God made in my image because I'm so awesome. And so it's, and I'm like, how's that working for us?
Right.
Okay. Like, yes, exactly.
It's not working.
I think the older I get, the more I realize that it is.
Yes.
You sort of sing it when you're young in a whole different way. But I think I look at our world and I'm like, I really got nothing else.
Nothing else.
No.
And I think that is the strength in knowing that I have nothing else.
yeah.
Nothing else.
When you know that you need them, that's a blessing.
How have you stayed like that, CeCe? Like, you're obviously, God has blessed you with such gifts and your platform. How have you stayed dependent on God?
Ooh, you know, I think it's all in just walking with them day by day, you know, not taking breaks. You know, so for some reason, people think you can take breaks from walking with them, you know, but just whenever you stay in his face, you never forget how great he is.
Beautiful.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful.
You never forget how great he is, and you realize that without him, you are absolutely nothing, like nothing.
You know, that sounds like a strange question, but it's a real good question because a lot of people have gifts and talents that have carried them, and they can become to a place where they get a little cocky, if you will, and
Well, not even dependent on God, like either fame or gifts or they just depend on their fame or their gifts or their talents. Or,
and then they get to a place, but I know you personally, and I know that you love God, and your relationship with God and your humility has kept you, I mean, to just be steady.
Praise God.
And a fear of God I think you have to fear God.
Yeah,
Way
that's true.
of like, I mean, all you have to do is look around, turn on the news and see what life would look like without Jesus. And I just think that is like anything to keep you like, I gotta stay with Jesus. I mean, I thank God I have people around me who don't know God, because if I didn't, like, what good am I? I need to be in the darkness. I need to, you know, bring the light. But I think I see people who don't have Jesus and I'm just like, I don't know how they do it.
And that's fun. You said that, going back to the question, you know, Chris, when the Lord started opening up doors for me when I was a teenager, really, really young, and even before I was a teenager, I got a chance to see people who were very successful in the world,
right,
but didn't have God.
Didn't know peace, yeah.
And it was like, oh no, clearly I don't want that.
Right.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Way before success happened for me, I knew that there was no peace in success.
So it just kept you God dependent.
Yes, totally dependent.
And which means with God, then he probably has carried you further than you could have taken yourself anyway.
Definitely.
Totally.
That's the miracle of it. It's him from beginning to end.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe today and you'll never miss a new upload.
And don't forget to check out our Better Together shop. Thanks for being a part of our community.